At the same time, if you know the characteristics and hiding areas of wild boars, please share so everyone can avoid them. If you support the way the people of Texas responded by helicopter, please comment number 5. Thank you for accompanying the hunters during the hunting journey. Click the channel subscription button to watch future episodes. In addition to agricultural damage, wild boars also impact natural ecosystems by digging in the soil, which will indirectly spread disease. They can also carry diseases that pose a risk to wildlife. The economic and ecological impact of feral swine in the United States is a concern for agricultural and environmental regulators. The digging activities of wild boars break down the soil structure, creating conditions for faster erosion, especially in areas with steep terrain. In 2019, wild boars caused $12 million in damage to cattle farms in Texas. Do you have any thoughts about these numbers, about the dangers that have been caused by invasive wild boars? Wild boars are an invasive threat you never thought possible. When the harvest season in the large fields ends, they continue their journey in search of food in the city. $10,000 in damage was caused by a herd of boars attacking a residential area in Texas in 2019. The highway is the only road wild boars can cross to move into new areas. These are potential causes of traffic accidents. Controlling feral swine populations in the United States is an important task, and hunting is one strategy used to achieve this goal. In Texas, there will be 2 main types of hunting. The first type of hunting is seasonal hunting, which usually takes place from September to December when wild boars are most active. During this time, hunters may use a variety of methods, including traps and hunting tools. However, Texans often favor the use of hunting gear, as they believe this is the most effective method of controlling feral hog populations. The second type of hunting is government-planned hunting, which takes place in dense and difficult forested areas. Texas farmers will choose a second form of hunting. Each wild boar hunting season, they organize wild boar hunting competitions to bring the states in the United States together. You're right, those are the women who will participate in this adventurous hunting journey. If you support women hunting wild boar, please comment number 1. Comment below with your thoughts to help hunters successfully hunt more of these invasive species. Wild boar hunts are not supported by Texans at night, mainly for safety reasons. At night, visibility is reduced, increasing the risk of accidents. Organizing wild boar hunts with groups has helped shorten the hunting time, and on average each hunter is only allowed to hunt from 1 to 4 wild boars per day. According to TPWD estimates, the number of wild boars in the state has decreased from 2.6 million in 2016 to about 1.5 million in 2023. In the Texas area, Texas farmers are also concerned about invasive baboons. They directly attack human habitation areas. Why do they invade the city so strongly? A baboon even destroyed a car, climbing into the driver's seat and causing damage to the car. Have you ever wondered why baboons attract human attention? The strong reproductive behavior of baboons leads to population explosions with high reproductive rates and short reproductive cycles. Breeding season usually takes place from June to October, and each litter usually consists of 1 to 2 cubs. The number of baboons makes it difficult for local authorities to control, especially since their eating habits can negatively affect the environment. Monkeys often consume leftover human food from passers-by. The number of baboons in a group can vary from a few individuals to over 100 individuals, depending on the species and the habitat, and average their weight ranges from 12 to 20 lbs. But have you ever thought that baboons can affect our health? This has caused the Texas government to find many measures to deal with invasive baboons to protect the safety of local people. In the journey to control the invasive baboon population, hunters will choose to use hunting tools combined with bait preparation to attract them. This combination worked successfully for the hunt. The number of baboons taken down in Texas in 2022 has decreased from about 1,500 in 2018 to about 1,000 in 2022. Unlike invasive wild boars, baboons are intelligent and aggressive animals, so be careful when approaching them. You should use appropriate hunting equipment and have experience before going baboon hunting. Always comply with wildlife protection laws. You should hunt in groups to support each other and ensure safety. Hunters who hunt baboons often use a hunting gear primarily called the R15. This tool has the most effective range to take out targets at a distance of 1,000 yards. It can hold from 10 to 30 pills in each band. In some areas, you will not be allowed to use an AR-15, so you need to carefully research the laws before going hunting. After completing 2 invasive species hunting trips in the state of Texas in the United States, which hunt do you find most interesting? Comment 1 if you find wild boar hunting more appealing to you. Comment number 2 if you feel people's handling of baboons is effective. Thank you for accompanying us until the end of the video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button to the channel.
Hyenas, with their powerful hunting instincts and flexible underwater hunting abilities, have become a major threat to agriculture in Africa. They are known as the #1 predator. In the wild, hyenas can run at speeds of up to 37 miles per hour, allowing them to easily chase and attack livestock such as cows, sheep, and goats, the main source of income for people. At its peak in 2010, hyenas attacked between 15,000 and 20,000 buffalo in African livestock areas. These attacks caused economic losses of up to $2.5 million. The repeated attacks by hyenas made it difficult for many African farmers to protect their cattle, reducing milk and meat production, and affecting the livelihoods of many families who depend on this livestock industry. The carcasses of attacked buffaloes are often left behind, causing air pollution due to the stench and attracting many other scavengers, increasing the risk of spreading disease. In addition, the decomposition of buffalo carcasses also pollutes water sources, especially in areas near rivers and streams, affecting water quality and the health of the community. To effectively deal with the threat of hyenas, the South African government has established strict regulations to control hunting activities and ensure the safety of hunters participating. Since 2010, 1,200 hunters who want to participate in hyena hunting must have a special permit issued by the government and comply with strict requirements. The minimum age to participate in hunting must be 21 years or older to ensure that hunters are aware and responsible for hunting. Hunters are required to complete a minimum of 40 hours of hunting safety training, which covers topics such as firearms safety and hunting skills. Hunters must also pass a theory and practical test to ensure they have the necessary skills to effectively engage in hunting. A controlled hunt led by the African government resulted in the knocking down of 7,200 hyenas nationwide. By 2011, the number had dropped to around 4,500 due to a combination of stricter controls and increased surveillance of the area. In the vast wilderness of Africa, especially in South Africa, hunters must follow careful movement strategies to avoid being spotted by hyenas. They usually travel in groups of at least 3 to reduce unwanted incidents. The I-375 Magnum is a government-approved rifle that can quickly and humanely take down prey. In environments with little vegetation, the I-375 Magnum has the advantage of long range and high accuracy at ranges of about 100 to 150 yards. This distance gives hunters enough time to react if they get close. In 2012, hunters in Africa began using bows and arrows to hunt hyenas at night. In preparation for night hunting, hunters carry powerful flashlights to better see when they spot signs of hyenas. Local authorities have built shelters for hunters, These shelters play an important role in protecting hunters from sudden attacks from other wild animals. The main locations in Africa where bow hunting of hyenas takes place include Kenya, Tanzania, and Namibia. One of the most important things to create the success of hunting. Hunters will attract them to the hunting area with bait, mainly animal carcasses that will have a special scent. When the hyenas have focused their attention on eating the bait, the hunter has the opportunity to aim accurately and quickly knock down them. This has been proven to be effective up to 75% of the time in each hunt. However, by 2020, the hunting of hyenas had been stopped due to policies to ensure ecological balance. African authorities have controlled the number of hyenas well, at about 5,700 across the country. To minimize conflicts between humans and hyenas, they have turned to building iron fences to separate the wild areas from residential areas and farms. This fence system is designed to be up to 20 feet high to prevent hyenas from attacking livestock areas, creating conditions for them to develop their business. Comment 1 if you want us to learn more about hyena hunting activities in other countries, or comment a specific place that you are interested in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the video to more people to get lucky from God. Please watch the next video. With a population of up to 2.6 million, feral hogs have turned Texas into a hotspot for invasive species problems. The dense forests and vast grasslands of the central and southern parts of the state have become their home. The rapid increase in wild boar herds has caused serious consequences. Therefore, the fight to hunt wild pigs in Texas has become an urgent task that requires the cooperation of the entire community. Here, hunters not only need a hunting license but also have to pass a 50-question knowledge test about wild animals and hunting regulations. In addition, hunting in some conservation areas or areas with high population density is also restricted. These strict regulations help ensure that hunting occurs in a safe and sustainable manner. Hunting safety policies in the United States have made significant strides in reducing accidents. In New York, for example, the 5-year average rate of hunting accidents has dropped from 19 per 100,000 hunters in the 1960s to 1.8 per 100,000 today. These improvements are largely due to enhanced hunter education programs and stricter regulations. The annual damage of up to $400 million caused by wild boars is a wake-up call about the negative impact of invasive species. Hunting is not only a recreational activity but also an effective wildlife management tool. By engaging in controlled hunting activities, hunters contribute to the conservation of biodiversity and the maintenance of ecosystem balance. Encounters between humans and black bears are becoming increasingly common in many areas of the United States, causing serious consequences. Urban expansion, habitat changes, and human intrusion into their territory have led to conflict. They search for food, causing property damage and threatening human lives. The dense forests and high mountains of western North America are home to many species of black bears. The rugged terrain with steep slopes, deep valleys and dense rivers creates great challenges for hunters. Moving in dense forests requires dexterity, endurance and good direction. Hunters must always be alert to potential dangers such as encountering a mother bear with her cubs or encountering bad weather. Hunting seasons are usually regulated by each state's wildlife management agencies. Hunting season typically falls in the fall and winter when the climate is cooler and wildlife is easier to observe. The minimum age to participate in hunting varies from state to state, but is typically 12 to 16 years old. Thanks to safe hunting practices, it has become easier to control Texas' huge population of creatures. In 2019, the estimated number of black bears decreased from about 900,000 to about 600,000. For 3 consecutive years, Americans have had to deal with large numbers of wild animals. They are considered apex predators in the United States. Therefore, hunters will perform this dangerous mission with their teammates. Go in groups of at least 4 to 5 people to ensure safety. This will help the hunter's spirit be sure to make accurate target shots.
2, 3.
The United States government allows hunters to use a variety of firearms for hunting, including rifles that meet specific regulations and requirements. Popular calibers include the 30-06 Springfield, .308 Winchester, and .270 Winchester, known for their stopping power and effectiveness in taking down large animals. It helps hunters perform short range at a distance of 12 to 20 yards. Wearing appropriate camouflage clothing can increase the success rate when hunting wolves, as it helps hunters blend in with the natural environment, making it difficult for wolves to detect them. Studies and field reports show that effective use of camouflage can improve hunting success rates by up to 30 to 40%, as it allows hunters to get closer to their prey without being noticed. One species that is frequently trafficked illegally is deer, especially because their horns are considered a valuable commodity in the market. The US government's lax management of this issue has made the horn trade more popular. Hunters who violate hunting regulations can face fines of up to $100,000 and criminal prosecution, depending on the severity of the violation and each state's regulations. Hunting activities of American hunters are often strongly opposed by the community. Many people are concerned about the negative impact of hunting on the environment and ecological balance, especially when hunting endangered species strain. They consider this an inhumane act of causing unnecessary harm to them. Thank you for watching the entire video. Click the channel subscription button to watch the latest videos. One comment if you support American hunting. God will help you, please watch the video. The situation in Korea is becoming increasingly serious as wild boars often invade agricultural land, causing heavy damage. Fields of corn, rice and other essential crops were destroyed, making it difficult for farmers to deal with them. In areas such as Gyeonggi-do province, where agriculture is the main local economy. Estimates show that damage caused by wild boars cost the region up to $15 billion per year. It is estimated that there are about 400,000 animals, causing serious damage to rural and urban areas. Local authorities are making efforts to control the wild boar population, but this is difficult due to their rapid reproduction rate and diverse habitats. As the threat from wild boars increases, the Korean government has implemented measures to limit the number of wild boars. In Gyeonggi-do, Incheon and the Gangwon-do Mountains, where wild boars lurk, specialized teams have been established to monitor, trap and manage them. Traps are placed in areas frequented by wild boars, with an average size of about 10 x 10 feet, and are designed to create a space large enough for wild boars to become trapped. Traps are usually made from sturdy steel mesh and have a gate that closes automatically when they enter. This measure helps people be safer during trapping and moving. With this type of leg trap, hunters do not need to use bait to attract wild boars because they are placed in strategic locations. Only hunters with special licenses are allowed to hunt them. To become licensed, hunters must undergo a rigorous training process of at least 6 months of training. The Korean government strictly regulates hunting, licensing, and the use of traps to ensure hunters' safety from wild boar attacks. In many cases, wild boars escape from traps because the hunter did not check the trap after setting it. If the traps are not firmly attached to the ground or the clamps are not tight enough, they can easily escape during vigorous exercise. Traps used must be licensed to meet the standards of Korean authorities. Using a trap that is not in the regulations will result in the hunter having his hunting license revoked. In addition, large steel cage traps were placed strategically throughout the affected areas. These traps, designed to trap large numbers of wild boars at once, are up to 85% effective. In areas like Inch, hundreds of wild boars have been dealt with thanks to this method. Each trap can catch from 3 to 5 wild boars, depending on the size and structure of the cage. Hunters should check traps regularly, preferably 12 to 24 hours after setting, to ensure humane hunting and to reuse traps as soon as possible. Trapping season is usually in the fall and early winter, when wild boars are more active in search of food. Setting traps at this time helps minimize damage caused by wild boars to crops and property, and better control the increase of wild boar numbers in residential areas. Night is the time when wild boars are most active, so setting traps at this time helps increase the possibility of capturing them. This type of trap not only helps minimize damage caused by wild boars, but is also safe for the environment, avoiding negative effects on other animals. Thanks to modern sensor technology and motion detectors, these traps are capable of capturing wild boars with a success rate of up to 80%. Dealing with wild boars using iron cage traps in Korea has many advantages over using guns. During the past 5 years, using iron cage traps saves ammunition costs and does not require hiring professional hunters. Furthermore, iron cage traps are also safer for the environment because they do not cause noise pollution or risks for hunters. With an estimated average of 20,000 wild boars caught each year through this method, it greatly contributes to minimizing damage caused by wild boars nationwide. Hunters will then collect wild boars at trap sites organized by local authorities. This activity helps provide data so the government can adjust management measures effectively. Every year, the Korean government organizes public education programs, raising people's awareness about their harmful effects and providing necessary knowledge on how to avoid dangers when coming into close contact with them. Through years of efforts and public education, the Korean government has created a solid prevention and control system, helping people's lives become more stable. Comment number 1 if you support Korean people's practice of hunting wild boar using traps. Share videos so you can get many advantages at work. Continue to the following video. Folks, pythons are no small problem in Florida. Over 100,000 of these invasive species are eating our animals, even alligators, costing us millions of dollars in ecological damage each year. It's scary to think that one could be near your home, right? But farmers and local people in the US are indeed not only fighting back, they are turning these pests into profit. Today we'll look at how they control pythons and raise them for profit, turning a bad thing into a good thing. Let's find out. Pythons didn't start there. They appeared in the Everglades around 1979, escaping the pet trade and exploding after Hurricane Andrew destroyed a breeding facility in 1992. By 2012, studies showed that this invasive species had wiped out 99% of raccoons and possums in some areas. It was an invasive species that disappeared from America in the blink of an eye. Farmers took action not only to eliminate it, but also to find smarter ways to protect their property. Here's how we're tackling the python problem today. Since 2017, the python removal program has paid hunters to remove more than 17,000 pythons from public lands by 2024. The Florida Python Challenge, which began in 2013, enlists people like us to help 200 pythons disappear in 10 days last year. Technology is also a game changer. Since 2020, AI cameras and radio tracking have captured 500 pythons in just one project, finding them where the naked eye couldn't see them. And the 2012 import ban has cut down on new escapes. These efforts are not just about eliminating harmful invasive species, but also about protecting birds, deer, and our peace of mind. We are taking back Florida, but what people will do with them next remains to be seen. Ever wonder who gets to hunt these pythons? In Florida, it's not just farmers and regular people who can do it, it's all legal. Hunters are given special permits from the state, like the Python Removal Program permit, that allows them to take pythons on public land, no questions asked. Some even make a little cash for each python. But safety is key. Safety is key! They wear thick gloves and boots to avoid being bitten. Use long poles to pin the pythons down without getting too close, and work in teams so no one is left alone with a 15-foot python. How can we get our swamps back from this invasive species? Please give your opinion. Now, this is where things get smart. Raising pythons for money. Farmers aren't raising them like chickens. It's not about having more pythons. They're catching pythons and managing them in controlled settings, turning a problem into a paycheck. Since 2018, people in South Florida have been using captured python skins and tanning them into leather to make boots, handbags, even wallets. One farmer who processes 50 skins a month sells them for $10.00 to $20.00 each, which is small but growing. By 2023, this niche market will reach $500,000, 0 cents statewide, with demand for python fashion growing. Restaurants are experimenting with python meat too. Think spicy python tacos. It's not just a cleanup, it's a job and value creation. Instead of being a menace, pythons are becoming a resource that eases the pain of losing our wetlands. You can help report pythons with the Python Hunting app, or buy a python skin wallet to support the cause. Imagine telling your grandkids how we turned a python attack around and restored the Florida ecosystem. Leave a comment. Subscribe to Mousefarm for more stories like this. Hello, today we'll explore the bobcat, one of the most common wild cats in North America. According to the Conservancy for Wildlife, the number of bobcats in North America is estimated to be between 2.5 and 6.5 million. Next episodes.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.